Welcome to Sew with Mrs. Herbert. In this episode, we will hem our skirt. Now I have the picture on the front of the pattern envelope. Because of the shape of our skirt, there's a certain technique needed for this hem. So here you'll notice view B is very straight. It's like a pencil skirt, and A as well. And then the others just flare out a little bit. All right, our tummy is flatter than our buttocks, right? So the front of the skirt, because our tummy is flatter, will need less fabric to cover it than the back of our skirt. Our buttock sticks out some, so that means it raises the fabric a little bit. So the back of the skirt will be slightly longer. If we were doing a gathered skirt, something ruffled and full, we could just do a hem like we've done with our pants with elastic or like our apron. But when we've got something that's more fitted like this, we need to take more into account more the shape of our body. So this hem, all the steps to it, are so that the back of our skirt will be a little bit longer so it looks perfectly straight when we're wearing it. Okay, let's look at the directions. Number 9, mark length. Press up hem along marking. Mark depth of hem, trim evenly. Press under 1/4 of an inch on raw edge. Stitch close to inner pressed edge. And then the illustration. So we're looking at the wrong side of our skirt. Here's the side seam. They've turned up 1/4 inch on the bottom of the hem. Here's the depth of the hem. They folded it up and then they top stitched it. So as I said, if we go back to this, press up hem along marking. I'm going to show you how that's done. The first step was to mark your hem. This is what it would look like. You'd have a friend put pins along the hem using a yardstick or measuring from the floor to where you want the hem folded up. My friend would tell me to turn, and I'd continue around until the entire skirt was marked. Next step is to go to the iron. To press my hem up along the marking, which are pin markings, I'll turn it and fold the bottom of the skirt up right along the pins. They're close enough that I can make a smooth edge. Now these pins are plastic, so I am not going to press over the pin head itself. But I want to show you. Then I'm making a crease. And I would do that all around. So that's how I press up hem along marking. And I take out my pins as I go. Then it says mark depth of hem and trim. So let's say that I want my hem to be 1 inch. When I fold it down, I can see a little crease. So I would use my seam gauge. And I want my hem to be 1 inch, but I want to turn it under 1/4 inch. So I would go from the fold and mark it 1 1/4 inch. And here I'm using a pencil. I do that all the way around. And then I use my scissors and cut it off right along that marking. The next step, press under 1/4 of an inch on raw edge. Stitch close to inner pressed edge. So as I've shown you in the past, I stitched 1/4 of an inch from the edge so that then I could very easily press it up without having to remeasure. So now I'm going to go ahead and press this, and then I'll meet you back at the sewing machine. I've pinned my hem up. The top was turned under 1/4 inch along that stitching line. And I'm using, just so that I can make sure my hem is sewn evenly, I'm just going to use the edge of this part of the throat plate as my guide. I'm going to go ahead and sew around this, and when I return, I'll show you my finished skirt. Here you can see our completed skirt. The hem was top stitched. It needs a final press. We did a lapse zipper and we did a facing with interfacing. Also, I'd like to show you, originally I cut out this black skirt and I was sewing with black thread and I knew you just couldn't see that at all. So I did finish this skirt. So the same thing. It's got the side zipper, facing with interfacing. And on this one, I finished the hem slightly different. I zigzagged the edge rather than turning it up because this is a little bit heavier. I didn't want to add any extra bulk. So you do vary how you hem things and how you finish the seams based on the weight of the fabric. So there you have it. You've successfully completed your third sewing project.